The Weefine WFS07 is the one and only hybrid underwater strobe and video light. We've got sample underwater photos and videos, so check out this full review.
Hey guys, this is Nirpam with the Underwater Photography Guide and Blue Water Photo. I'm excited to show you guys today a new strobe on the market. This is the Weefine WFS07 strobe and video light. So it's actually a video light and a strobe at the same time. You can see in my hands, it's pretty solid and it's not too big. So I've been taking this diving in Washington and also now here in sunny California at Catalina Island. I've been super impressed with the results so far. Now the strobe has a guide number of 22, so it's not quite as bright as like a CNC YSD3 or an Enon Z330, but it is a great starter strobe, and I was actually shooting wide angle with two of them, and sometimes even one strobe was enough for wide angle and highlight conditions. So I do think it's both a wide angle and macro strobe. And what's really cool is it actually has a circular flash tube in the center here, so you get a nice wide beam, a nice wide spread of your light, no hot spots. And in the middle you've got an LED that has a 3000 lumen video light, which I think is excellent for shooting both macro and wide angle video, especially if you have two strobes. That's 6000 lumens of light, which is great for wide angle video. So I shot a little bit of video as you guys saw previously. So you guys can see this strobe actually comes with a diffuser, and it comes in a nice carry case as well. And if you want, you can also get a multi-core cable from Weefine that's $60, so it's a pretty decent retail price, and that'll allow the strobe to fire. So when it comes to the beam on the strobe, it's 140 degrees, which means it's a really wide beam, and one strobe in most cases is going to be enough to cover your field of view. That being said, I still recommend two, especially because it is a guide number 22 strobe, and you can do a lot more with your light if you have two strobes. The recycle time on the strobe is 0.9 seconds, which is pretty quick. Now, I was shooting at full power a lot of the time, and I did feel like it seemed about 0.9 seconds. I thought that was a good accurate estimate of the recycle time. So at a full charge, the strobe actually discharges 600 shots, and that's plenty for a full day of diving. I used it, I shot about 200 shots on one dive, and it's reading pretty accurately. It says 447 on the OLED display screen. So that's actually a pretty cool feature. It has a full display screen, so you can see the number of shots you have left, the guide number you're shooting at, and then also if you're using the video light, you can see what power you're at, and there's the video light turned on. Now the controls are really simple. There's an on button for the video light. You just press it and hold it to turn it on. And then there's also another button that will help you go through your strobe settings. So the strobe works with a pre-flash. It also works with single flashes like flash triggers, and it has a slave mode as well. Now, to control your power, all you have to do is hit that dial, and that's pretty much it. So it's a very easy, self-explanatory strobe. It does not have TTL, for those of you that are wondering, and it has a CNC style fiber optic cable port where you put your cable in there, and a flash on your strobe or a flash trigger will allow you to fire the strobe. Now the strobe runs on two 18650 batteries, which is pretty cool. All you have to do is take off the back, and it has a tight double O-ring seal, so you really don't have to worry about flooding it, I find that the seal is pretty tight, and sometimes that can actually be a little bit tricky to take the top off. So when you take the cover off, it does come with a tool that makes it a little bit easier. And you can see there's two 18650 batteries here. So you can use any standard 18650, it comes with them. And it's a pretty universal battery, which makes it nice in case you are somewhere and you need an 18650 battery. When it comes to mounting options, the Strobe has a ball mount included and also a YS mount in case you wanted a little bit more angle to move your strobe. And finally, the Strobe does retail at $599, which I think is a great starter price. And it's kind of a nice mid-range strobe. Now, if you think about some of the less expensive starter strobes, they don't include the underwater video light. So when you combine the video light and the strobe, it actually ends up being a little bit more affordable, and you can shoot both photo and video on the same dive. Now, the Strobe comes in a black and white version. I have the black version here, but if you prefer a white strobe, those are available as well. Now, I just wanted to talk about my experience diving with the Strobe real quickly. So overall, I thought the color temperature from the Strobe at 5,000 Kelvin was a really nice color temperature, especially for colder water. It is a little bit on well, I wouldn't say it's cold and I wouldn't say it's warm. It's right about right when it comes to colors, and I thought it was fairly accurate. So it's similar to what a CNC strobe might be. Now, the video light has a CRI rating of 90. I did find that the colors were really accurate. And again, it wasn't too warm and it wasn't too cold. I thought it was just right in terms of the color temperature of the video light as well. So overall, I think the results speak for themselves. I think the Weefine WFS07 is going to be a really exciting strobe to hit the market. It really fills in a niche because right now we don't have any middle-ranged strobes, any mid-price strobes, and it's a very high-performing strobe with both a photo and video light, and then you can kill two birds with one stone. So if you have any questions, make sure you reach out in the comments below, or you can send us an email at sales@bluewaterphotostore.com. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and you'll get some more content, more reviews and tutorials. Overall, I'm super excited to have a new strobe on the market. I think it's going to be a great option for a lot of people. With that, I hope to see you guys out there diving.